edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And today it is the Barnes, Tony, Dwayne, Michael, Renee with Matthew and Manny in the vicinity.
God, dude.
How are we doing today, sir?
If you're talking to me, dude, because you said a lot of names right there. I am doing great today.
Don't I do that every single show?
All right, dude, don't get upset already.
Well, no, I mean, how about pay attention?
Oh, my God, dude. I am paying attention, dude. I'm doing great today, bud. Just overall, great day. I'm super excited to be on the show, dude. Talk about a lot of stuff. A lot to go over, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped for it.
So much to go over. I know, Dwayne, you're pretty pumped to be back, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. So let's start. We usually start with, being a Wednesday, a golf tournament starting tomorrow, also known as the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill Golf Course in Orlando, Florida. So one of the legendary tournaments, on the PGA Tour. And once again, we have a designated event, 120 golfers vying for 500 FedEx Cup points, a first place prize of $3.6 million. So the world's best will go after that prize. And of course, in this field, we have last year's champion, Scotty Scheffler, who also, of course, this year defended his title at the Waste Management. So he looks to go 2 for 2 in title defenses. But of course, with these designated events, comes a very loaded field. So just to give everybody an idea of who's teeing it up this week. So of course, Scheffler, the hottest golfer on the planet, Jon Rahm, Max Homa, Rory McIlroy, Tyrrell Hatton, Jason Day, who's had a resurgent season here at age 35, Colin Morikawa, Will Zalatoris, Victor Hovland, Keith Mitchell, Keegan Bradley, Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick, last week's winner, Chris Kirk, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas. Let me just see if there's anybody else that I'm missing here. Patrick Cantley, Jordan Spieth, Hideki Matsuyama, as well as former Masters champion and Open champion, Zach Johnson. So a lot of big names here. I'm really excited for this tournament. And I have like a little bit to go. It's like half of Tony Finau's episode for Full Swing, but I finished the majority of it last night. I mean, one of the best documentaries I've ever watched.
Really?
Really just did such a good in-depth job, because I feel like, golf, being obviously lagging behind the other major sports, you don't get a lot of personal coverage. And I feel like we just see these guys, play their rounds, but we don't get to know the people. And I think Full Swing does a really good job with that. One thing, though, I was disappointed in, and I know, you think about it, filming, began at the beginning of last year, and he was in it slightly, but how each episode featured a little bit about, one or two golfers. Jon Rahm did not really, was not featured at all. They mentioned him a couple of times, showed him a couple of times, but everybody else was more in depth. So I just thought,
they think it was going to be a dud this year, maybe,
or it could be, maybe he didn't want to do it. Because I know he can get a little aggressive at times.
Private guy.
Yeah, I could see that. But
yeah,
being out, hot, he's been, on tour this season. It would have been nice to see that. It was really cool seeing a guy me and Tony talked about a lot last year, Sahith Theegala. And that story was just so good. They really break down. So, he had a lead going into the final hole at the Waste Management and just completely blew it. Would have been his first PGA Tour win. I think he still won $600,000 or whatever it was for finishing, I think, third. But just to see, I mean, you're all set. You're going to win your first tournament and then have to all go to hell on the last hole.
Right. Yeah.
It really gives you that, perspective of that. So I definitely recommend to anybody who has not watched that, you really want to tune in.
Netflix, right? I gotta
Netflix,
check it
yeah.
out, dude. Is there an episode on Harold Vardner, dude?
No, he's not featured at all. And he was one of the more popular guys on tour, but now being on Live Golf, Tony. I don't know if
Dude.
you knew he was on Live Golf.
No, I was unaware of that. Maybe
Yeah.
we should do an episode on Harold Vardner.
Oh, we could do that very, very easily. So good stuff. And I really hope they do another one for this season. That would be really something. But that being said, Tony, I've given you some time to prepare. I'm sure you did a lot of research, a lot of footage, a lot of crunching of the numbers last night. I really actually do not have a clue who you're going with here.
Really?
I'm very interested to hear it. So what do we got? And any reasoning behind it too, just if you could kind of enlighten the fan base here.
You talk about, we always mention John Rahm and, Brian mentioned crunching the numbers and how do you not, go with John Rahm when you do crunch those numbers and you see what you've seen from him so far this season. But I just got a feeling in my bones, Brian, that Rory McIlroy is taking home the dub after this weekend, Arnold Palmer Invitational. He's coming up here and saying, John Rahm, I don't think so, dude. Okay. You weren't on full swing. I was on full swing. Let's go, dude.
Whole episode on Rory was
Whole
the last
episode,
one, which coincidentally enough, because he won the tour championship. It was
Mhm.
a good way to kind of wrap it up. But I didn't know it was the last episode. They show the credits. I'm like, that's it. But it made sense.
How many episodes? 8?
I believe 8. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I gotta check
Me
it out.
and John just breezed right through him. So that was good stuff. And I like
Pretty
the pick
cool.
of McIlroy.
Yeah.
He's played some good golf this year. Hasn't won yet.
Mhm.
And I know, he's a guy that likes winning these prestigious tournaments. So it'd be a nice warm up as he gives it another go to break that
baby.
drought with the major championships. And they really did do a close feature on him not winning the Open at St. Andrews. That was a really good part of the show as well. So I definitely like
so
that
sick,
pick.
dude. I gotta watch this show.
Yeah, no, you're gonna really like it. It's funny
Yeah.
too. And then I feel like then you might start watching the tournaments. Like
Yeah.
get excited. I'm telling you, you don't believe it. I get it.
No,
I get it. But I'm telling you, is that a Sacred Heart shirt, Tony?
It is a Sacred Heart shirt. SCMA is the School of Communications and Media Arts, dude.
Love it.
Yeah, dude. Always, always. I do laundry, so this is on the bottom of my pile of shirts. So
Yeah.
But yeah, great time, obviously. Great school, great program, great school. Love it.
And I was just trying to think about this too. I feel like Dwayne is the first person that's gonna get to pick the golf. I feel like we've never had a guest pick the golf tournament, right?
I don't think so. No.
So making history here on the Sports Board.
Oh wow.
Very interested to see where you go here, Dwayne. Who's winning the Arnold Palmer?
No, like you guys said, this is a very loaded field.
Mhm.
And like Tony kind of mentioned my pick. I'm feeling Rory McIlroy.
Let's go, baby.
He has the second best odds actually coming into this tournament to win. So I really like, of course, you have the John Rahms, Sky Scheffler is hot right now, Justin Thomas, but I really think Rory McIlroy has a really good chance to take it home.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
that
Water
jugs are full, Tony. I definitely considered it. Definitely considered Rahm and Scheffler. It just seems too easy, but I just know deep down that Rahm and Scheffler are going to be in the top 5. I just know it, but I have a feeling it's just not going to be that easy. It's going to be something that you're not thinking about. And a guy who's had a pretty good performance this year, he's looking to add another major after adding a second last year at the PGA. I got to go with JT. I think he's due to win
not
here.
a bad pick.
So I think this is going to be fun. I really can't wait to watch this tournament. I mean, what a stretch we have here with the Players Championship next week. And then next month, the Masters. I mean, you absolutely cannot beat that. And I think that's one, Tony, where even you, I know you're skeptical with watching the golf. I think the Masters, you're gonna tune in more than you expect for that one.
Yeah, no, I think again depends on my schedule, But hey, listen, I'm not skeptical of watching. The weekends are tough.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah,
Right,
very
right.
busy
I'll
guy.
try to pencil it in, dude. And again, I'm sure like Jay loves to sit down and watch things too. So I'll drag him into it. It'll be like a whole group thing.
I'm telling you, Sunday at Augusta.
Oh.
There's really, really nothing like it. I kind of think we need to be bold. So of course, tomorrow we will literally, I don't know why I said literally, but we will do a leaderboard update just to give everybody an idea what's going on A couple comments here.
Yeah, Michael says bars is tight. Tony doesn't like golf. LOL.
No, but I don't think it's that. I really don't think it's that you don't.
I like
it.
golf.
Yeah.
I like golf a lot, but it's just not high on my priority list, I suppose. But then he goes on before that. He says the best, most organic sports show in the world, and even in the quantum universe.
Very true there.
Quantum.
Very true.
And I think too, Tony, you could acknowledge, like, let's say I just give you this scenario. Rahm and McIlroy tied, 2 holes left at Augusta. I mean, tell me that's not must-watch TV.
At that point, even if I'm out to dinner with the girlfriend,
You're watching it on your phone.
I'm going to the bar. I'm like, Anna, I gotta go.
Yeah. There's just it really is great with golf and the majors. It's something about it, because obviously every tournament is a tournament, but just they're just so prestigious. The feel you get, obviously the field has a lot to do with it, and I'm getting a little buzzing, Tony, in my ear. Like, I don't know. Wow.
Headphones?
I think. Let me see if it's still. All right, we're good. It was a pretty loud one.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry. It might be maybe your connection's a little loose or something.
I thought that was only the headphones over there.
Is this one good? Is this you right here?
No, we're good.
We're good. That's your knob though, right? Okay, just making sure.
But what I was just gonna say is the majors, I think, are even more special because it's the only time we get the live guys to play. So that's gonna be interesting. And I kind of have a feeling this year, and I mean, obviously, you would think the guy who has the best shot to do it would be DJ, but that a live golfer will win one of these majors. It would be or Cam Smith. Cam Smith has a really good opportunity.
That would be something. That'd be very interesting.
Imagine Cam Smith and Rory. Final group at Augusta.
I mean, if Cam Smith wins, you think it's just like rocking the PGA world, basically?
No, not really.
No,
because it's the majors, everybody kind of, who's not, closely tuned in doesn't understand that, like, the PGA doesn't own the majors. You know what I mean? Those are run separately. I guess technically the PGA championship may be the only exception, but they're different governing bodies. So it's just 2 different things altogether. But interesting stuff. Golf heating up, full swing, on fire, Tony. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right. So the MLB divisional previews continue on. We had a nice breakdown yesterday of the AL Central. So if anybody missed that one, definitely check it out on the YouTube page. Tony going with the Guardians to repeat.
Hell yeah, baby.
And I like the White Sox here post the Tony La Russa era to finally figure it out. But that'll be definitely an interesting division.
I think it will be, yeah.
To watch for sure. But we have another great division today to talk about, and that's the National League West. And this is a division, I believe, is it 6 straight titles for the Dodgers, Tony?
6 straight is correct.
Wow. I mean, you think about how hard that is, especially, the West, the Padres have been strong recently. The Giants won, I think it was, 107 games a few years ago. So there's definitely, a lot of, talent there. But of course, you got to start with thinking about the Dodgers, who last year 111 victories, and then they failed to make the National League Championship Series. That just took everybody off guard. So you think about them. An off season though, it's just weird the trajectory, and I know the money, but the Dodgers seem to be a team that have a lot of resources. So just the guys that they let go, you think back-to-back off seasons, you lose Max Scherzer, you lose Trey Turner. So, that's kind of a tough pill to swallow. And, as far as, bringing guys in, so they bring in JD Martinez to be the designated hitter, coming off a down year in Boston. But, I think they're hoping that he can kind of be revitalized with the switching of teams after being in Boston for the last few years. And then Miguel Rojas to replace Trey Turner at short. Gavin Lux, out for the season. We all saw that ACL injury. So it'd just be interesting to see, does he kind of step in and take care of the job, or do they need to go acquire somebody like Isaiah Kiner Falefa? But of course, the offense definitely going to be led by Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Then you got Peralta and Chris Taylor. But I would say, and I'm just curious what you guys think here in terms of the offense specifically. We've really seen a dramatic turnover of the offensive players on the Dodgers. No, last few years.
Yeah, no, I would say so.
No more Justin Turner.
No more Justin Turner. That's what I was just thinking about. And I feel like he was doing well, I guess, for the Dodgers. Max Muncy, I feel like has been on the decline for a few years now.
Had that one strong year, I think 2019.
Yeah. Other than that, I seriously question, the rest of this lineup. You mentioned, the Lux's injury. I think that's going to be a big hit to the lineup. How much damage could Will Smith really do offensively? I don't think a lot. Obviously, you understand, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts are two players who are incredibly electric. Definitely, like you said, going to be leaned on a lot, in terms of, offensive production for the Dodgers. But what once was, I think, like almost a Murderer Row-esque of a lineup, is now just like bare bones, a shell of that. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting year for the Dodgers, as well as, look at their pitching. Obviously, Kershaw and, Julio Urias had two great seasons last year. Walker Buehler injury, right?
Coming back from elbow surgery. So he's not even listed on the depth chart right now.
Yeah. So I feel like he's going to be a big question mark if he even plays. Tony Gonsolin, we know, had a great year as well. So you'd expect to have him have a, pretty solid year as a starter for the Dodgers. But then obviously, Anderson's gone. So I think that was kind of a big hit to the rotation as well. And who else do they have? Gratterall. Oh, yeah. Well, out of the pen, no?
No, Mays, they have a fourth starter.
Have a fourth
and then
starter.
The guy you're forgetting about, the guy that I said would win comeback player of the year, the 5-starter, Noah Syndergaard.
Oh, stop.
Reports that the velocity is up. So I really can't wait to see that.
Big question mark in the rotation, dude. If Syndergaard even lasts, dude, I thought Gratterall had the 5th spot.
So Gratterall they have as a setup guy.
Yeah, interesting.
So they're going Kershaw 1, Urias 2, Gonsolin 3, May 4, Syndergaard 5. But honestly, I think 1 through 4 is pretty solid. Obviously, Noah, didn't have the year, vintage Syndergaard year last year, but who knows? Change of scenery, similar to JD. Maybe he gets going. He's still on the younger side here.
Think Syndergaard has enough change of scenery.
But Dustin May, I think, has all the talent in the world. I think he could be great. Gonsolin's season last year was great. And then Kershaw and Urias pitched well last year. So I don't think pitching will be the problem. I think it'll be offense. What do you think about the Dodgers this year? You think they're weaker than the 111 version last year, 111 win version last year?
I think so. I think they are definitely a shell of their old self. We know the guys. We know Freeman and
Betts.
Or Betts are going to definitely, be the sole core of their offense. But I question their bullpen. They're losing guys like Trainin, who's going to be out for the season. You have Chris Martin and Craig Kimball gone as well. I like the Alex Reyes pickup for the bullpen.
Yes. Yeah,
that's going to be a really smart pickup by them. And then you have like the Miguel Rojas trade, which I like. Then you add David Peralta, which will add more depth to their lineup in general. But I really think they're going to win some games, but I don't see them as, especially their offense, their lineup is really lacking like a punch
right
outside of your main guys, Betts and Freeman.
Yeah.
And I think the concern, although they're starting pitching, might be decent. You bring up Syndergaard, but I really think their bullpen is definitely something that's going to be
an issue for them.
They're going to have to add somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to get an outside perspective because obviously Tony, very anti-Syndergaard. I don't know. I always liked him for being a Yankee fan. I don't know. Just he threw hard. He just great pitches. And
but you said for you,
poor performance.
A Yankee fan.
But anyway,
a team he wasn't
I'm
on.
just kind of curious. Do you think there's any chance? There's talks of increased velocity. I know last year just very mediocre, but do you see him improving at all? Another year removed from Tommy John.
It's tough. You see little, he has his little moments when you're like, okay, like you see it, but I just don't know if you expect him to be like he was before the Tommy John surgery. I think that's unfair kind of assessment to really put on him. But again, I think he's gonna be solid. I don't think he's gonna be great, but he's gonna be decent.
For a 5
just
starter,
depends on health.
You know, if he's healthy, as a 5 starter, it's not like you need that much.
Right.
From him.
Dude. I'm looking at his numbers here. Strikeout rate is.
No, it was awful. It was,
dude, awful numbers.
I give you that,
here,
Tony.
dude.
It was awful. And then you think about the
The
previous
year
couple years,
before, dude.
2
the
appearances
Mets,
since
dude.
2019.
I think for him, it's gonna come down to quality starts.
Yeah.
It might not be the best stuff on a weekly basis, but if he provides you quality starts and gets you deep into games, where you don't have to rely so much on your bullpen, that's gonna be the most important thing.
And I think
don't know if he can do that though.
For a guy that once threw 100 last year, we're seeing 93. If he could just get to 95, which doesn't sound like a lot, 2 miles an hour, but I think just with differences with pitch speeds, I think that'll make a whole difference if he could get there.
Yeah, maybe.
So that'll be a situation to monitor. Moving around the division, the second place team from last year and making it to the National League Championship Series, finally breaking through a lot of disappointing seasons of recent for the Padres. But, of course, the big addition here being Xander Bogaerts. They traded for Soto, but for the trade deadline last year, Machado gets the big extension. Tatis will come back from the suspension in May. They add former Yankee Matt Carpenter as their designated hitter. Of course, he had that great run with them, then the toe injury and couldn't get his timing back. So it'll be interesting to see can he rebound there. Austin Nola at catcher. And then Trent Grisham, a guy who had a terrible year last year, tormented the Mets in the wild card series. Mitch Haniger, another addition as well. I don't know why ESPN does not show him on the depth chart.
ESPN.
Oh, he's on the
sucks,
Giants,
dude.
Tony. That's why.
Oh, you talking Padres? Sorry, dude. I was. I thought you were,
wow, this guy.
I thought you were talking Giants. My bad.
So obviously the lineup's loaded. As far as the pitching is concerned, Joe Musgrove just broke a toe, weightlifting, so he's out. They don't know how long. That's tough as a pitcher.
Dropped a weight?
Yeah, $100 million extension this offseason. They just announced this yesterday.
Wow.
So I don't know how much time he'll miss, but you got Darvish as your starter. I think they just signed him to an extension. Blake Snell rebounded last year, and then you got Michael Wacha and Nick Martinez to round the rotation. So the back end of that rotation, the Musgrove injury, they might need to add a starter.
Yeah.
So that's something to monitor. For the bullpen's concerned, I mean, they have Josh Hader. It's like, what version of Josh Hader we're gonna get? It was lights out, all-star team, imploded down the stretch, a little better in the playoffs. We know the talent's there, but is his head on right? Because that was pretty bad. It was like a 7 ERA last year after the All-Star break.
He didn't look like Josh Hader.
No.
Not at all.
So maybe he settles in, but that's just interesting. And then Robert Suarez did a good job setting up, as well as former starter Drew Pomeranz. So I think the bullpen will be okay. I think the offense, will be dynamic. Seth Lugo, once again, they definitely did sign him, though. I don't know why. The depth chart on ESPN, I have to say.
It's actually pretty funny because I was having some gripes with ESPN last night because I was looking up stats of hockey players from games and they just weren't updated. Like it was showing, like I knew someone had a goal. It didn't say that they had a goal, and I was like, what's going on with ESPN? But Seth Lugo's definitely on the Padres there. Okay, dude,
it's kind of interesting. But what do you guys think? I mean, last year when Soto just got traded to the Padres, everyone thought, this team's going to score 15 runs a game.
Right.
They really struggled, but then they kind of obviously got it together in the postseason. They add Bogaerts. I mean, do you guys think that, especially Tatis coming back as well, do you think that they're kind of going to finally reach expectations in the regular season? Of course, we know the Dodgers have won 6 straight division titles, but do you think with these additions that they have enough, or do you guys kind of see them the same type of team as they've been the last couple of years?
I mean, they're going to have to. I think they're one of the teams that has the most pressure on them.
Right.
Oh,
they
for
spent
sure.
so much money. They brought over Bob Melvin last year, Tony's favorite.
$300 million.
Right.
To Xander Bogaerts. And then you have Manny Machado and Juan Soto, who has a full offseason with the Padres. You're coming over. But yeah, I mean, you extend Darvish, and you mentioned like their bullpen is actually becoming a strength of theirs. We talked about Robert Suarez, and then Steven Wilson, guy we didn't mention, another second-year guy that broke out throughout the season. But then that really depends on Josh Hader. Yeah, because again, you added him, but he wasn't really the Josh Hader that everyone expected him to be. He was a little subpar.
Subpar.
Yeah,
dude.
really. What he brought to the table. But yeah, they added Matt Carpenter, Nelson Cruz. So again, the Padres are definitely going to be a team that has a lot of pressure on them moving forward because they threw all this money at all these like star caliber players. So now it's like, okay,
got to perform.
Payoff. You got to perform. You know, we're not just talking about regular season. We're talking about postseason and possibly contending for a World Series at this point.
Yeah, and I feel like a few of these guys, you know, like Soto, you know, like Hader, some of those midseason acquisitions from last year really didn't perform as well as they thought of, or they thought they would. But of course, you know, having that offseason, the Bogarts, the Tatis coming back as well, I think it's huge. Machado being happy with an extension, Darvish being happy with an extension. You know, those are two players, Machado and Darvish, that you would expect to pick up where they left off last season, which were, you know, great career years for them. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the Padres are going to be super dangerous this year. I think they're going to be good from the get-go, honestly. I really can't see. And, you know, like I said, you know, I think Seth Lugo out of the pen. I know I may be biased with Seth Lugo, but, you know, Brian did mention, you know, trouble in the back end of that rotation. You could throw Seth Lugo in there. He is someone who's been dying to get a starting spot in the rotation. So I think, you know, you throw him in there as your fourth or fifth starter, like, not only is he going to be excited about it, but he's going to, you know, pitch really well. So I think that they can be a super dangerous team on all sides of the ball here. And like I said, I think from the get-go, they're going to have that chemistry. You know, I know I mentioned those midseason acquisitions not, you know, kind of playing well last season, but I think having that offseason under their belt, having that half a season under their belt, I'm sure they kind of really collected themselves and are kind of, you know, having the same mindset, you know, obviously World Series goal in mind here, starting here from day one. Like, I think they're going to be, you know, a team to definitely splash out onto the scene.
Well, like knowing that they have some type of like lack of in the back of their star rotation, do you guys see them adding anything or trying to look internally?
Yeah, I think they'll try internally, but if something comes available, they'll do it. But I don't think they're going to do anything of notice till the deadline if they need to.
Yeah,
and obviously Musgrove's return from injury will be big. So that's just a situation to monitor for sure. But I think, you know, if you think about their team, I think the guys with the amount of pressure on them the most, the two guys would be Juan Soto. You know, he turned down an extension over $400 million with Washington before he was traded to the Padres, really was underperformed with them. So it's like, you know, he can't, you know, go out this year and have another underwhelming season. Then that deal might not be there. I really believe in him. I think he's going to have a great year. But, I mean, it's how does he not think about, if I bomb out this year, what's my market going to be like? I know the Padres want to re-sign him, but I think that's big. And then number two, it's Fernando Tatis Jr. What's he, 23 years old, coming off the PED suspension. I think he really wants to prove I'm a star. I don't need steroids. I think he needs to earn back the trust of his teammates as well. So it's going to be very interesting in San Diego. A team to watch for sure this year.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
And I just saw, I guess, breaking news, Tony.
Oh, yeah, dude?
So, suspected #1 pick, Jalen Carter from the University of Georgia, you know, NFL, we're talking defensive lineman, arrested. And it cut off what he was arrested for, but obviously, you know, that's pretty, Jalen Carter, look it up. You know, that's pretty big news.
Accused of racing before a crash.
Dude.
That killed teammate's
fatal crash. Misled police about it.
Wow.
Okay. Shit.
So that is obviously a terrible story there.
Jalen Carter, one of the top prospects of 2023 NFL, was present and seen team's fatal car crash on January 15th. Oh, wow. So this is a while ago.
Yeah.
Drove away and misled police about it. So he lied about the whole situation. Wow, dude.
Yeah. So something to keep an eye out for. I'm sure more will come out about this. Of course, that's pretty damaging for a guy, you know, who's talked about, you know, being the #1 pick in the draft, or at least the #1 non-quarterback. You know, we know how that goes at the top of the draft, but just saw that flash across the screen, so I had to mention that. You know, finishing out this division here, you know, we got 3 other teams we'll just mention here before we pick our winners. We got the San Francisco Giants, you know, last year, very disappointing season. You know, coming off a year where I think I said it was like 107 wins they had, only 81 last year. And then to follow that up with probably, if you guys think about it, the most disappointing offseason in MLB history. You had Correa signed. There was heavy rumors Judge wanted to go there. And your marquee signing for the offseason is Michael Conforto, who hasn't played since 2021. I can't think of a worse offseason that I've ever seen with the expectation there and then to just end up with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know, man. We're talking Giants, obviously.
Mitch Haniger, though. They got Mitch Haniger. I don't think he's good. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't.
I mean, I feel like last season.
Pull up the stats. You already have it up.
Yeah, no. 2 seasons ago, he had almost 40 home runs. Last season,
underwhelming.
For sure. But I mean, obviously,
39 home runs in 21. I get it.
Struggle with injury. You know, season before that, like you said, 39 home runs, 100 RBIs. I mean, batting 318. Sorry, not batting 253. On base percentage of 318. Slugging 485. I mean, you know, the guy can obviously hit for power. That's something that, you know, I feel like the Giants are looking for, as well as having, you know, a decent guy in the field. I don't know. I think that's a good pickup. I understand he's a little bit older, 32 years old, but I mean, I feel like watching him, you know, when he's on Seattle, he was one of the better players, better outfielders. So, I mean, I think he's going to be fine in the Giants. You mentioned, you know, Michael Conforto. I think that's someone who I think is going to surprise a lot of players. Again, maybe I might be biased. Maybe. But, I mean, you said it too. Surprised he wasn't picked up earlier. Just in the shoulder problems.
Shoulders are tough.
Shoulders are tough. But, I mean, for someone like him who honestly had a good send-off from the Mets, it's not like he played that poorly. He had a pretty shitty, I want to say, 3/4 of a season.
Yeah, just because he finished strong.
He finished strong, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude. So don't shake your head and roll your eyes, Brian. I just feel like, you know, the rest of the team, you know, Brendan Crawford, pretty solid. Estrada on second base. I mean, I feel like he's a
former
good
Yankee farmhand.
You appreciate that, I'm sure, dude.
Jock Peterson,
Mike Yastrzemski, dude. JD Davis, dude. You mentioned Jock Peterson as well.
Yastrzemski was good a couple years ago, but I'm sorry, this is a terrible lineup.
I don't think it's that bad of a lineup, honestly. And I think again, you know, I mean, Mitch Haniger has a bounce back season after that injury. Joey Bart maybe a little bit better at the catcher position.
I mean, talk about a big disappointment. You're supposed to replace
Posey.
And you know what my problem is more than anything is Jock Peterson, Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto. They should be, I mean, at the minimum 6, 7, 8, and they're batting 3, 4, 5. And I think that's the problem. You don't have a big impact bat, and that's why they wanted Correa and Judge so bad.
Right, but Mitch Haniger 40 home runs.
So what they're gonna have to do, which is, you know, when they were successful a couple of years ago, is outpitch everybody. And I know Logan Webb is great. I love Logan Webb, but outside of that, Alex Cobb, Sean Manaea, who couldn't have had a worse stint with the Padres last year.
But still, Alex Wood,
and Ross Stripling, the former Dodgers. I don't love that rotation.
DeSclafani isn't bad either. Anthony,
I don't know why they don't listen.
Solid.
But I've always liked DeSclafani, but still,
still on the team.
I just don't think that's outstanding. I think the bullpen will be a strength though, because Duvall had a good year last year, and then you reunite the Rogers brothers. So they have Tyler and Taylor Rogers, guys who have been all-stars at different points of their careers. So I think the bullpen's a strength. Obviously, Webb is great. But I think this was a pretty porous offseason for the Giants. I mean, they could surprise, but I don't know. I just think you think about trajectory from a couple of years ago, they've really fallen off talent-wise.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, again, you look at this team like the Giants. I mean, 2 years ago, you know, they had like 104 win season, 102 win season. Get blown out in the wild card by the Dodgers. Just because the Dodgers at the time also like a 105 win team. There was, you know, a division that was totally stacked. You know, you look at that team and you know, it was Buster Posey's last year. He was having a bounce back year too. I mean, you know, it's kind of unfortunate for them that in that division, over 100 wins, they come in a wild card spot. Any other division, they would have won that division. And then of course, you know, it seems like from there, it was just like, I don't know, just absolutely devastated them, their fan base, their team, and they really kind of haven't really recovered since then. You know, you mentioned the flat season last year. Were they even 500 last year? Even Steven. And you know, you mentioned, of course, you know, the offseason here. I mean, I guess you could call it bad luck. I mean, the Correa thing, you know, seemed to kind of, you know, I guess the Giants were Correa's first victim of the offseason. So, I mean, you can't really, I guess, necessarily blame them for that, I suppose. And the whole Judge thing, you know, kind of unfortunate as well. I mean, who really knows how close the Giants were to getting Judge? The whole thing seems kind of fishy. But again, seemingly the Giants are a team that, has been kind of, I guess, taking advantage of the past couple of years in the league, and because of that, they just kind of like, I guess, just got shafted left and right, it seems. But I think it's a team that will certainly be well above 500 this upcoming season. I think relying on their pitchers is going to be something that's important. And I do think, Conforto, Haniger, Jock Peterson, I think those are heavy hitters, dude.
There's going to be a new bite. Tony's favorite team, the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I'm not impressed, and you can't be impressed either, right?
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I mean, no disrespect to Mitch Haniger and Michael Conforto. I know those are Tony's guys, but if you ask any San Francisco Giant fan and that entire fan base, this offseason is complete whiff.
I don't think I know any of them.
I mean, if you Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa, Michael Conforto, Mitch Haniger.
Yeah.
Is that even trade-off? What
I was saying is that would be a good lineup if they had those two guys.
Like it would.
Oh, my bad.
There's your 3 and 4. Like, great. They're gonna definitely score a lot of runs. But their strength is definitely in their pitching. Like we talk about 1 through 5 in their star rotation, they're solid. So they're gonna definitely pitch, and their bullpens is strong as well. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, just think about what you could have had versus what you got. The Giants definitely did not win this offseason, and it's kind of looking like more so again like another 500 or below 500 type of year for them.
And speaking of losing off seasons, I think the Colorado Rockies have lost every offseason since they signed Mike Hampton away from the Mets in 2001. You look at this team, all the money they put into Chris Bryant, he could barely be on the field, wasn't productive last year. He, unfortunately, by default, is a franchise guy. I mean, you got CJ Cron, Brendan Rodgers is a higher draft pick, hasn't been great. Charlie Blackmon, I think the better days are behind him. You got Randall Grichuk as well. So I think, for Coors Fields, maybe those guys, numbers will get inflated. And obviously, Cron's numbers last year were solid. Pierce Johnson.
Biggest offseason pickup.
Who I don't even know who that is.
Pierce Johnson, really?
Yeah.
He's a good reliever, I guess. But pitching in Colorado, the altitude, that's always going to be a problem. Marquez. Kyle Freeland, I feel like has been garbage for like 5 years. I can't believe they still have Antonio Santazala as well, former Marlin Jose Urena, Ryan Feltner, Daniel Bard. I guess it's a good story coming back after that long layoff to be a solid closer now.
Yeah.
That's impressive. You mentioned Pierce Johnson is one of their top setup guys, but I just have a tough time thinking that this team could even be any better than they were last season, where they won 68 games. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Where is the hope?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like I forget who, maybe Bleacher Report. I don't know, dude. But projected the Rockies to have, probably the lowest win rate in the league. And last year they were pretty down there. Brian mentioned 68 wins. I mean, I just feel like, Kyle Freeland, not that good last year. I feel like German Marquez. I mean, these are pitchers that had a ERA of over 4. They have a good prospect in Sean Bouchard, but I mean, he's been down in Double-A and doing well. But I mean, he's kind of the big question mark, even so at that point, and like I said, they're projected to have probably less than 68 wins, which they had last year. And you mentioned the whole Chris Bryant thing. Very unfortunate. It really sucks that it seems like he just kind of got signed by the Rockies and is, complacent with just kind of chilling in Colorado. Smoking the reefer, dude.
I can see him bouncing back though if he's healthy.
I don't know, dude.
The altitude helps everybody.
Yeah. The altitude. I mean, I think the Rockies did well at home at Coors, of course.
Right.
They had a winning record, but then on the road they were absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, sure, like Coors Field. Oh yeah, like you can put one out, but it's like, how much good is that really gonna do you? The Rockies are an absolute shit show. It's a shame because I feel like if I was from Colorado and the Rockies are a decent team, I'd be fucking going to games, dude. And they've had, I think one of the lowest attendances last season out of any team. And I feel like Colorado is such a hot spot. People love Colorado, the ski, whatever, dude. They had a good baseball team, dude. I'd move there right now.
Well, and the thing is, it's the same thing as like with the Giants. You think about their roster a couple years ago.
The stadium, dude.
Arenado. I mean, you had people that everyone was excited about, but you don't have any of that. You didn't get good returns for those players. So definitely think it's going to be a long season there. And then the last team in this division, I think they're probably slightly better than Colorado, but more by default than anything. But you got the Diamondbacks. Offensively, Ketel Marte, I would say is their best player, or Jake McCarthy.
He had a shit year last year.
But obviously power and speed. Evan Longoria, I mean, it's amazing that he's still even in the league. You got Nick Ahmad, Corbin Carroll, Josh Rojas, Gabriel Moreno. So I think runs will be tough to come by. The pitching, I think, is, I guess, okay. I mean, it's probably better than Colorado. You're led by Gallen. Merrill Kelly at times can be good. Bumgarner, I think, is completely cooked. And then to finish off your rotation with Zach Davies and Ryan Nelson, your bullpen, Mark Melanson and Miguel Castro. The bullpen probably isn't too bad. Got Andrew Chafin as well. But I still think, this is just one of those rebuilding teams where, at least at the major league level, there's not that much to get excited about right now.
No, this is definitely gonna be a bad team this year, and they kind of know that. But they, like you said, they have a lot of.
Do they know that?
They'll be smart too. No, but they have a lot of young prospects. They have a lot of good young talent. And another guy we haven't talked about is Kyle Lewis. Hopefully he can get his career back on track with them, and
former rookie of the year.
Yeah, so maybe he can revitalize his career this season. And then Evan Longoria, I mean, he's just there collecting a paycheck. But again, he'll give a good veteran presence there. So again, there's a lot of prospects that are trending in the right direction. I feel like the Diamondbacks, but we know they're not going to compete. But again, maybe this season could be more so of a stepping stone to the right direction for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see some of these guys getting dealt. Honestly, Jake McCarthy is someone that I would have my eyes on.
Yeah, there was some rumors season, but Marte's been rumored to be traded for 5 years.
So honestly, ridiculous. And Marte had a shit year, honestly. So maybe they're kind of waiting for him to have a bounce back year, then deal him. Who knows?
But the talent's there though for him.
Yeah, no, the talent is there. Again, just an off season last year for Marte, but Jake McCarthy, I mean, again, someone who can really just cover so much ground in the outfield. He had 23 stolen bags last year, and you best believe with making the bases bigger and all the rule changes this season with no shift and everything, he's probably gonna have more bags stolen than he did last year. So that's an aspect of the game the MLB is trying to implement more, and I think McCarthy is gonna take advantage of that. I think it's his second year. Right, last year was his rookie season, I think. McCarthy.
So
second year in the league. I mean, I think he's gonna have a lot more balance, a lot more hype to him. Again, he's gonna be someone who's pretty excitable to watch, and maybe that's a guy you can kind of build around in the upcoming years, Diamondbacks. So we'll see as Michael comes through the door,
coming in hot
as they say.
But Tony, let's get started here. Order of finish in the National League West.
All right, so order of finish, starting from the top as we've been doing. I'm gonna go with the first place team. Michael, do you need something? What do you need? Okay. Starting with the first team, I'm gonna go with the Padres. A team I mentioned. I think Michael's boy Tatis Jr. Michael's a huge fan of him and the steroids, dude. This is when the girl gets all messed up, dude. So I know, so bad. Like I said, team splash out on the scene, dude. Dude, don't get Brian upset.
Oh my god, we're still doing that.
Oh gosh, dude. Anyway, Padres first place. Out on the scene, bang it, hang it, kill it, consistently all season. It's just going to be absolute bloodbath for them. You Darvish, Cy Young, probably, honestly. Second place, I'm going to say the Dodgers, just because, I think they're going to have, maybe some luck with Muncy, I guess. I mean, we know Freeman and Betts are going to be so good. How can you kind of go against them to be in second place? Their pitching is going to do well too. Syndergaard is probably going to be the worst pitcher they're going to have. And honestly, he's still probably pretty good, because the rest of their rotation, their bullpen, are going to be absolutely lights out, I'm sure. Third place, I think at this point you can kind of see the rest of the division pan out. Third place will be the Giants, I think, above 500 here. Quite a few games above 500. Again, I think their pitching is going to be pretty deep. I think Minai's going to have a bounce back year. They're going to probably struggle to score runs. But nonetheless, good pitching can get you wins, especially in tight games, stuff like that, right? And then I guess Next up would be Arizona, maybe just kissing 500 here.
Wow, I think that would be an accomplishment, honestly.
That would be.
Yeah.
Maybe kissing 500. I said okay, so it's
Oh, you said it.
I said
let's
maybe.
let's not walk it back.
Yeah, but let's not exaggerate. I said maybe kissing 500. Okay. And then Colorado. I mean,
what are you doing? Right,
60 wins, maybe 58 wins.
56, maybe
6 wins. Oof, buddy. Sean Bouchard, maybe, having an outstanding year as a prospect, certainly being brought up. I mean, I think Colorado would be foolish not to try him. But other than that, I mean, what do you have to look forward to over there, Colorado, dude?
Yeah,
so
it's tough.
But that's the division, and I'm interested to see what your guys' takes are.
What do you think, Dwayne?
Yeah, so I agree with Tony. I have the Padres as my first team.
Let's go, baby.
Soto full season.
Yeah.
There. I think that's really going to be helpful, especially how he gels with the lineup. And, his play is definitely going to be better than it was in the mid-year, halfway through the season last year. Tatis coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot to look forward to if you're a Padres fan. Their bullpen is a little shaky, but I really think if Hader comes back and performs the way he does, I mean, the back end of that bullpen is definitely going to take care of itself. I have the Dodgers coming after them, second place. Again, they're gonna win a lot of games, but I think the Padres are gonna provide a little separation from them in terms of the hierarchy in that division. Giants as my third place team, great pitching, but I don't think they have a lot of punch in their lineup.
Right.
So, and then I got the Diamondbacks, following them. A lot of prospects. I think that's gonna be a lot of. I think they're gonna be a team that a lot of teams are gonna try to grab players from them throughout the season.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, McCarthy.
Exactly. And then again, the Rockies are just, just chilling at the bottom,
Yeah.
CJ Crone, I'm sure will get traded to a contender.
Colorado is a nice place.
It is.
It is.
It'd be nice.
It's a nice place.
What do you think about the Rockies? Well, Colorado's a nice place.
You know what I'm confused about, though? Like, is there scouting that bad for pitching, or is it really just that hard to pitch in Coors Field?
Again, dude, I mean, on the road, they weren't good. So I think it's just all around. It's got to be the scouting.
But, I'm just like, Jacob deGrom, full season with the Rockies. Would his ERA be under 4?
Yeah.
Well, we say but
because
we
he's
don't
a good
know.
pitcher, dude. I know.
Nobody has success, though. That's the thing that's crazy.
Yeah, but they win their games at home, though. It's like they're getting wins.
I know they did
home,
win win the National League. What was it, 2006?
Yeah, I guess
2006.
Yeah.
Who wants to play for Colorado? That's the real question.
Chris Bryant.
Tony was talking about that.
Who's actually coming to Colorado?
I mean, if they offered me a contract, I'd go play for them.
Well, and as a batter, I mean, it is tempting to think, wow, I mean, how many home runs will I hit?
Yeah.
I mean, but you want to win.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, individual stats, cool. But...
Right, exactly. So for me here,
this isn't basketball, bro.
I'm gonna go the Dodgers making it 7 straight.
Wow.
And I think a key is, and I'm predicting this now.
–
comeback player of the year 2023 National League. Noah Syndergaard will have a great year. I want to say, give him 180 strikeouts. Let's call it
180.
13-7. And I'm gonna say his ERA will be 3.26.
I thought he was full of shit.
So kind of refining that form we saw at the Mets. And offensively, I think JD will bounce back as well. Maybe give him 26 and
JD
90,
Davis,
94. Not JD Davis, JD Martinez. Something. Betts and Freeman, we know what they're gonna do. Maybe they have to pick up a reliever or two. We'll see what they do. Padres score a lot of runs. I just think, the Tatis coming back with the locker room concerns me slightly because I know a lot of guys were pretty hurt by what he did last year. I expect Soto to bounce back. So I think pitching, maybe towards the back of the rotation could potentially be spotty.
Oh, yeah.
Hader, a question mark, but obviously a playoff team here. And then it's funny, we all have the same 3 through 5 teams: Giants, Diamondbacks, Rockies, all for the reasons you guys laid out. The talent just gets worse and worse as we get to the bottom of the division. So you hope moving forward, these guys do a good job in scouting and that this could be a more competitive division because it's been owned by the top half of it for the last, feels like 10 years.
Yeah.
So something to keep an eye out for, but a lot of good baseball to be played in the National League West. This
National League
season.
all around, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I don't think I can agree with that, but
and then I guess, by order of sequence, tomorrow we'll be previewing the National League Central
dude.
Division. So, a guy we didn't mention, but former Dodger Cody Bellinger, does he have a revival
over there
in
for the
Chicago?
Cubs?
Something interesting.
hey, look out for the Reds.
Look out for the Reds and the Cardinals without Yachty and Albert Pujols. What do they do this year? Adam Wainwright as well. So something interesting to see, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh, my goodness.
That's the top right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right. So after really weeks of speculation, Patrick Kane is officially a New York Ranger, getting that deal done yesterday with the Blackhawks. And I believe, Tony, a third team, the Coyotes, were involved for some salary relief, and then they got that second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, dude. So basically the trade, kind of breaking down this trade a little bit here, the Rangers lost a 2023 second-round pick and a 2025 fourth-round pick, and the 23 is a conditional first-round pick. I think the condition is if the Rangers win the Cup, that second-round pick becomes a first-round pick.
Which,
it's a win-win for anyone.
About
dude.
that.
And then defenseman Andy Walensky from the Rangers as well, from Hartford. And then Arizona kind of took some took some of the salary of Kane, and they received a 2025 third-round pick from the Rangers, which is pretty interesting. And then the Blackhawks got a defenseman from the Coyotes. So, a pretty interesting third team, three-team trade there, getting Arizona involved. I think, this was something that, President and GM Chris Drury has been, working on tirelessly, vigorously, it seems, for the past week or so, moving players around, finding the cap space in the Rangers roster in order to take Kane, finding a team to alleviate some of the cap that Kane would bring to the Rangers, as well as, obviously offering, proper, I guess, picks and or players to offer Chicago for them to be enticed enough to bring Kane to the Rangers. But I think this is an absolutely huge get. It's rumored that Kane's going to be on the second line now with Trocheck and Panarin. So, that's going to be an incredibly dangerous first two lines. And then, your third line, you probably throw Jimmy Vesey there, and you have Hedl, you have Kakko, you have Lafreniere still. I think at this point it adds so much depth and a different look to the Rangers. It seems like people are there's some Ranger fans, of course, that I guess are not happy, but I
don't understand why. Just Kane's old,
blah, blah. Washed up, yada yada. Need someone better. It's like, dude, honestly, you're stupid. Because you saw the way Kane was playing with the Blackhawks, the past week or two. Honestly, I really do think Kane was just kind of laying back all season, waiting to get traded, knowing he would. There was rumors of him being traded in the off season. Before the season even started, of course, they ended up just riding him out a little bit. And I think Kane knew that. He knew he was going to get moved. He was just kind of hanging out because you saw the last week. His last two games, he had 5 goals, dude. The man can still turn it on like that. You're talking about one of the best American-born hockey players to ever reach the league. And there's a reason for that. And he's 34, I think.
34.
We've seen players, surpass
Jaromir
that age.
Jagr.
We've seen players still consistently be at the top of their game at that age. I think Patty Kane is going to be one of them. I think people really don't have the right perspective if they're upset about this trade. And in my opinion, the Blackhawks have absolutely fucking fleeced here for 2 picks and a defensive prospect here. We didn't give anyone away. I mean,
No.
there was guys being moved. Brandon Schneider was put down. A few guys were not in the lineup for a few days. I think Drury was just trying to feel things out, but people were rumoring that like who we can get rid of from our starters. Nobody, dude. I think Rangers got out here. This is one of the best deals we've seen from the Rangers in a while. Chris Drury, absolute maestro, I think, in this deal here. And I think you're going to see a huge uptick in Patty Kane as an individual in terms of his stats. And obviously, because of that, you're going to see a lot more wins from the Rangers. And I think they're going to be super, super dangerous come playoff time. I think these are one of the things that I think the Rangers needed to be put over the edge in terms of being competitive with like the Hurricanes, with the Bruins. And I absolutely love it, dude. I think this is a huge get. I'm fucking hyped, dude.
Yeah, and I think that there's a couple of things to consider here. The biggest one is the fact if the Rangers were looking for Kane to come over and be their franchise player, leading the team in scoring, I would understand the disappointment of the fans. Like, this guy's 34, he's not as good as he used to be. But the fact that you just need him to be, part of the puzzle, and he has chemistry with Artemi Panarin. He's going to help you with power play.
Yeah.
There's not much you're asking for him. You're just counting on the fact that he's going to be energized. He's a New York native, Buffalo, albeit.
Hell yeah. Doesn't matter.
He's been excited to join the Rangers for a while, so I think he'll help them with scoring. His familiarness with Panarin, I think, will come in very handy. And the fact, too, that, they got him and the fact that they got Tarasenko and for weeks leading up to that, me and you talked about how, there's really no guys we want to give up. And it's like, we didn't give up any guys. We just gave up draft picks. We have high level guys. We got a handful of games for them to gel together. I don't see how you could look at this in a negative way at all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, dude, the man had, not a great year and he still has 45 points, 29 assists, dude. I think that's going to be huge. I mean, I think at this point, Barnes has been complaining about Panarin's, goal production. I think Patty Kane setting him up.
Yeah.
Trocheck setting them up. I mean, that line is going to be so dangerous, dude. Again, you see, and even last year, 92 points Kane had, 26 goals, 66 assists. That's a year, obviously, again, like he had a good year. Rumors of being traded. Chicago was in an absolute rut the past few seasons. Absolutely ridiculous. I think he's going to splash out onto the scene. I know Matthew Gabriel is pretty hyped. Crazy how loaded the Eastern Conference is. Rangers banged it by getting Kane. I can't believe the Blue Shirts got Kane now. 2 unreal. His Drury, the best GM of all of New York sports combined. I mean, it certainly seems pretty
Tony
fucking
thinks
close,
Billy
dude.
Epler's better.
Billy Epler's very good, dude. We'll see what he does with Ohtani. I mean, if Epler brings Ohtani to the Mets, I mean, it's...
I think Ohtani to the Mets is Judge to the Giants, is Correa to the Giants. I'm just saying, there's a lot of hype. Just be careful.
I would say the's more hype for Ohtani to go to the Dodgers, honestly. You could argue that.
That's true. That's true.
Let's, be careful. Patrick Kane. Right?
No, I think to get back to Patrick Kane, they're not asking him to be the guy.
Right.
This is a huge win for the Rangers. Again, you're not asking him to be the guy. You're asking him to be a complementary piece to what you already have. So again, putting him in that second line, just his presence alone is going to create so much more opportunities for other guys, especially for scoring. So again, and then like you mentioned, like they did not lose anything in requiring him.
Right. So the team's only getting better.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so this is
so ridiculous.
So this is just more so signifies a win now mentality. Just adding him to the frame of things, and it's only gonna get better for the Rangers moving forward.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, this isn't gonna show up really in any type of statistic, but I think the impact he has on the young guys is gonna be invaluable. You think about the kid line, any little things that they can get from Patrick Kane. I mean, just that could go a really long way.
And he's 34. He's not like an old man.
Yeah, he's not 45.
He's youthful.
He's not washed.
But yeah, he's
not scrubbed.
He's got handles. He hasn't lost his edge, dude. He's got great strong legs. Like, what are we talking about, dude? I don't understand. Like, people who are tight about this and are like, oh my God, like Kane's nothing. like they don't understand hockey. They probably haven't watched the game, honestly.
And he wants to be a part of this team, so you're gonna see him have an extra pep in his step once he gets on the ice.
Dude, again, think about it. The Blackhawks, obviously absolute dynasty. I think they're the last team to win the cup and the President's Trophy in the last season, in the same season. But that was back in 2013 when they had that dynasty of just him and Taves just absolutely dominating. Corey Crawford, their goalie, dominating for the Blackhawks. But it's been over, dude. He's been unhappy in Chicago for quite a few years now. Not to mention like the backlash they had against Joel Quinta, I forget his last name. Quintonville. And how the front office, just bad energy, bad blood there. It probably wasn't exactly a great atmosphere for a player like KANE. And they really weren't doing anything to surround him with great players, Now he's going to a Rangers team that's obviously contending, youthful, fun, fast, it's his style of play, dude. It's going to be an entirely different Patrick KANE we're going to see, I think, hitting the Rangers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll get to witness that tonight, 7:30, a TNT game. I'd imagine
I don't think he's starting tonight,
Albert will be on the call. Is he active?
I think he's going to be starting. They have a back-to-back. Is he playing tomorrow? Are they playing tomorrow?
Oh, I didn't. I guess we'll have to look that up. But nevertheless, Tony, we definitely will get to see him on the bench, you would imagine. I know there's the technicalities, with the physical and everything.
Showtime, Rangers wide score, trade deadline, Patrick KANE on Tuesday. The rumors and reports finally came to fruition. That Patrick KANE will make his debut Thursday versus Ottawa at MSG.
But around the
look up ticket prices right now. Brian.
They're definitely through the roof.
Oh my God, dude.
Any quick thoughts on the Kings and Blue Jackets trade?
Oh yeah,
dude. Went down.
I'm not exactly sure, honestly, who the Kings acquired. I don't think he was anyone special. But I know the reports were, especially after the Kings' big win last night, they hear Quick gets traded, and the locker room was tense, dude. Jonathan Quick is a goalie I've been hard on this season because he's been so slow. He's been a shell of what he used to be for the Kings. And I just feel like, that blow is, I think it signifies certainly an end of an era. I love Copley, their guy they've been backing up,
and that's probably why they made the deal.
That's probably why. I think they got a goaltender from Columbus.
Yeah, it's literally a goalie swap.
Yeah.
Jonas Korpisalo.
Is he good? Do you know any stats on him?
He's decent.
Decent.
Yeah.
Youthful. Young.
Yeah, he's younger.
All right.
How about tickets tomorrow? So lowest price tickets for $314. It's sitting in the 400 section.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. So they were making jokes on Boomer and Gio this morning that it's either you want to go to a Rangers game or you want to go to college. That's the decision people have to make,
dude. Unbelievable.
And that's without fees.
Dude.
So that's
So I got 220 here.
No, but that's without fees. So
without fees, yeah, true. It's gonna be like $300. And you're, dude, 414. Oh my God, dude.
But how about last night too, Tony? A little struggle for us with the picks, 2-6 combined. But today,
Dwayne's combined.
Today there's 6 games. We can make 3 apiece. We were already talking about the Rangers Flyers game. What do you think we got there, Tony? Let a buzz around the team.
To see this now.
For I guess the Flyers, dude.
No, for the Rangers.
For the Rangers,
there's a lot of buzz around them now with KANE. I know he's not going to play, but I'm saying everyone's excited.
Yeah. What's your question? I'm sorry.
No, we're starting the picks.
Oh, you want me to pick my picks, dude?
Yeah, sorry. Do you have a pulse?
Yeah. So I was looking at the comments here. I gotta bring it up now, obviously. Matthew Gabriel says, "Win now, do it now,
right
dude."
Now, obviously, that's why you're bringing KANE.
And then Patrick KANE reminds me of Tony. Very similar people, but then Michael Theofil, obviously still riding high on the Timo Meier trade. I don't see much of a difference. He doesn't have it anymore.
I think he's talking about Timo Meier.
Yeah,
he thought we were talking about him.
Yeah, Michael, obviously the Devils, dude. It's stop it, dude. Now, honestly, the Devils should be shaking over there in the Prudential Center, dude. Oh God, dude, what a shithole. But anyway, pardon my French. We're getting our picks here tonight. You already mentioned, the Rangers are going to be playing the Philadelphia Flyers in Philly, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
So a short little road trip there. Rangers are -210 here. This is going to be your 7:30, I guess, TNT game tonight, huh? We're going nationally televised. again, these two teams, Tortorella tribute video, say what you will, dude. The Flyers, again, not to bring up how good the Devils are being, but Devils just absolutely shellacked them 7-0. Before that, Flyers get shellacked by Montreal 5-2, then shellacked by Edmonton 4-2. Scoring 4 goals in the past 3 games isn't really that great. And then on top of that, you let up 16 goals. So, obviously, Hart having a little bit of, I guess, of a slump right now. His goals against kind of heightened up to a 2.94 save percentage, down to 908. So Carter Hart, someone who really splashed out onto the scene, now 16, 19, and 9. Seemingly kind of fizzling out here for the Flyers, and it was definitely one of their bright spots. So at this point, even though it seems like we've had issues in goal ourselves as a Rangers team, I really cannot have any argument as to why the Flyers could potentially beat the Rangers here tonight, even though they are at home. So I'm going to pick the Rangers, honestly, as my first pick for tonight. Give me the Rangers. I want Tarasenko to feel nice and warm when Patty Kane gets here. So give me 2 goals and an assist from Tarasenko. Maybe Panarin finds 3 assists as well. And I would say Rangers win this one. I would say 5-2.
All right. I'm going to take the Hurricanes here in Vegas. So right now they're minus 145, but what a season by them, 39-11. And me and Tony talk about it all the time. No one's talking about them. They're really having a great year. And if it wasn't for the Boston Bruins, I think there would be a lot of more conversation there. They're just very talented, kind of a balanced team. They have multiple goaltenders, Ranta, Anderson, and then Sevi and Aho on offense, Nikos. They could just beat you in so many ways. In Vegas, for a team with 35 wins, I've never seen a more inconsistent team. You don't know what version is going to show up. And I know it's tough going into their building for teams at times, but this Hurricanes team, you could just tell the talent level is just a notch above that. So I think this will be a good game. But give me the Hurricanes 3-2 overtime. Nikos, the game winner.
Overtime. All right.
Second half of that TNT doubleheader, by the way, 10 o'clock.
Wow, dude. Love to see that, dude. All right. My next pick here. Speaking of the Devils, they're playing the Avalanche in Colorado tonight. Speaking of which, Matthew says New Jersey is smelly. And then Michael Theophil says, ha, 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 shaking. We do the shaking, he says.
I feel the way, not the dislike is different because I don't really not like the Devils, but just the strength of the opinion here. Same thing was the Devils as the Mets with the wild card series last year. Last night. Last night. They will not make it out of the first round of the playoffs. You can guarantee it. So I said it here first, but continue on.
Again, it's so tough just because, a team like that who lacks the experience, so youthful,
over their heads a little bit.
I know I think getting into, the playoffs is going to be obviously something new. The nerves, dude. I'm just trying to see if Timo Meier is playing tonight, and it says unlikely to play. It said he is out right now, upper body injury. That's going to make his Devils debut versus the Avalanche on Wednesday. Ooh.
So you can't pick the Devils without him, no?
That is kind of tough, dude. I was going to pick the Devils, honestly.
Avalanche are better, though. They've been heating up.
I know, but
Gorgie.
I know Georgiev, dude. Honestly, who's Mike pick here? I forget what holiday he said it was. A Bulgarian holiday,
national
dude.
holiday. Yeah.
How could Georgiev not have a shutout tonight? So let's just make sure Georgiev is starting though, huh? Because he did. I think he start daily face off.
They go back to back with him as well.
I know they do because they can, dude. Ooh, Carter Hart confirmed, by the way, for the Flyers. Halak on the docket for the Rangers. I'll take it, dude. Why not? Alexander Georgiev on the docket, unconfirmed, but these two teams played back in October, late October. Devils won 1-0. But that was a very different Avalanche team. I think we saw. We talked about the Avalanche yesterday, creeping up in the Western Conference standings, even in their division. I believe looking to overtake Dallas now. I believe. So and I think 2 points behind them. So they're obviously having that first place division in their sights. A team who've obviously been on fire. I think a 6-game winning streak right now. Maybe even more, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh boy, Brian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak right now. Obviously very hot. Devils have won 4 out of the last 5. But again, I just think different Avalanche team. Alexander Georgiev on the Bulgarian national holiday. No Timo Meier yet for New Jersey. I understand Colorado's only favored by -130. But I think this is one of those games where Colorado really flexes their muscles in terms of offense and then really just, locks down the defense. Even though New Jersey can score, we know that. I think Colorado wins this game. I'm going to say 3-0.
All right. I like it.
What about that, Michael?
Ascending team.
Michael!
In
Michael says Devils beating the Rangers in the first round, calling it, and he goes, Georgiev is off tonight. I don't know, dude. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy if he does get off tonight for the Bulgarian national holiday. We kind of whack, dude.
So, and I know it doesn't seem smart at the face of it, but I'm going to take a team that's lost 7 out of 8. Capitals here. Desperation. They're in Anaheim, and they need a win. They have vets up and down that team. Oshie and Wilson. Ovechkin being back, of course. So I think it's a nice, easy 2-0 regulation win. Ovechkin, both goals.
Capitals,
I like that pick. Back on track here.
No, you're not liking that?
No.
Come on. They're not going to get shot out of the playoffs. They have to go on a run. The run
But
starts
Devils,
right now, and that's it.
Devils going to beat them. Not Devils. Ducks. Ducks going to beat them.
Ducks are not going to beat them.
Yeah, Towers Egress.
Who's your third pick, dude? What do you got?
Who's your third?
Go.
You know what, dude? I'm going to leave you with a game. I think you're going to, try and choose wisely.
The Oilers and the Maple Leafs. You're going to take the other game.
I'm taking the Maple Leafs.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the Oilers, okay? Connor McDavid is going to be all-time loser in the NHL, I think, okay? I'm telling you.
You want him to be on the
right
Rangers
now, dude. I don't want him to be on the Rangers. No.
Future Ranger
Why
confirmed.
don't you want to be on the Rangers again?
Because it's going to be impossible to get him.
What if it's a free agent signing?
Fine. But then who, cap space, what are we doing? It's going to be a big
Does
contract.
it matter?
I feel
How many questions you can
I feel
ask?
like he acts like he just doesn't want Connor McDavid.
No,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
What did Connor McDavid do? I want to know.
Nothing.
sounds personal.
Nothing.
It sounds
But
There
I'm
is
tired of people
something
talking
there.
about him, okay?
What is it?
I'm tired of people
What is
talking
it?
about him.
We
dude.
want to get to the bottom
I'm
of
telling you,
this.
dude, he's going to be a career Oiler, and that's where he wants to stay.
I don't know.
Okay, he's going to stay with the Oilers. He's never going to win anything with
When
the
it
Oilers.
happens, it
Dude,
started here on this show.
He's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
going to go to the Rangers. He's
We've
better
started-
off going to Columbus, okay?
There are
Um,
so many things that
Connor
we
McDavid to
started.
Columbus, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
start that, dude.
We started on this show. I'm just saying. So there's things have originated here, Tony.
I'm sure, yes.
Connor
And I
McDavid and
love
Johnny
that
Hockey,
things
I'll take
originated
that.
here. Johnny, yeah, honestly,
I'll take
dude, he
that.
needs him. Goudreau needs him, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, give me the Maple Leafs tonight, okay? Ryan O'Reilly absolutely splashing out onto the scene from the trade from St. Louis. Talk about another player, almost Patty Kane-esque. Obviously on a dying team that won a cup a few years ago and has so much talent that was being wasted there. New scene. He's at a hat trick already, I believe, with Toronto. The talent that they have, again, well-rounded team. Just kind of actually just taking a peek here at who's going to be. Oh, by the way, Caps too. Darcy absolutely losing his mind, by the way. So I don't know, man. Let's see. Oilers, Stuart Skinner against Samsonov. Come on, dude. Samsonov all freaking day. Stuart Skinner, I mean, he does an okay job, I guess.
Oh, man.
But I just think the defense is going to be there. The goaltending is going to be there. Again, maybe McDavid, oh my God, like 50-second goal. Whoa, dude.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Maple
Like,
Leafs
Such
win
a
this
hater
game
over there.
5-3.
I can't put my finger on what the reason is. But anyway, Tony, last
What do you
game
got,
here.
dude?
I'm gonna take the Coyotes. Okay.
Oh,
So they won their last
God,
game against Chicago 4-1.
Ingram
The
starting.
Stars have lost 4 out of 5. I did see Ingram was starting, but he's actually performed better of recent. So I feel okay there. The Stars, I think they're struggling for a reason. They know Colorado's breathing on their neck, not to mention Minnesota. So I think Ingram, I could see him actually having a shutout here on the road, really vying to show, he deserves to be a starter. 1 shutout in the season. But I'm going to say 2-0, both goals. Clayton Keller, 25 and 26, Tony. How about that?
Okay.
Did you expect that? Knowing Ingram, did you expect me to do that?
No, I kind of thought you would go Dallas because Arizona's been biting you in the ass recently.
I think they're turning the corner though. Finally.
Yeah, finally, dude.
All the momentum. But that being said, you know what time it is, Tony.
Oh shit, dude. Wait.
The Prism Pack Reveal. All right. We are due 5 All-Stars. What do you think, Tony?
At least.
All right. Let's see what we got. I think we got to be getting near the bottom of the box. Wouldn't you imagine?
I was telling Mike, I think we only have 2 or 3 packs left, dude.
Wow, did that go quick?
I'm predicting Pritchard.
Pritchard, that would actually be funny. That's actually ridiculous. We're waiting for the cameraman over here. But from the University of Oregon, Peyton Pritchard, Dwayne nailing it.
Let's go.
What a card, what a pick. So I think we have this one, but we have a lot of Pritchards, so hopefully his playing time.
Pritchards now?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully his playing time increases. This guy I'm not familiar with. From Arizona, Zeke Nagy.
Who?
Zeke Nagy? I don't know. But the card looks good. WhatsApp Michael will give us the synopsis there. Another Arizona Wildcat, Josh Green. So a younger player, some potential, of course.
He's getting missed with Dallas. He's solid.
Yeah.
He's solid.
A guy we had yesterday from the old US of A, Tony. RJ Hampton. Will he do something in the NBA? Who knows?
He will not.
And from Vanderbilt, Aaron Neesmith. So another Neesmith, another day.
5 All-Stars, right?
Without a LaMelo card. We did get Edwards at least yesterday, but I don't know, Tony. Maybe it's good that we're getting to the bottom of the box. I think the next box we're due to be full of All-Stars, but
you seem disappointed.
You know, I in the past though, like the boxes, I think the packs have been more talent heavy, you know? You know, and it just I don't like Tony, wouldn't you agree? I just feel like we haven't really had many LaMelo Ball cards, and he's on the face of the packaging, no?
Well, he's actually
just
done
the
for
one,
the
I
year
think,
now.
right?
Yeah, done for the year.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
He has a heart issue?
No. He
Face
ankle, broken ankle. Yeah.
Okay, so a headline, it was like he was having issues with like extensive basketball drills.
Maybe that was Lonzo, who's out for the season as well. So
Oh, maybe.
Ball's
He has a
not having
knee
any
I don't think it
luck.
was. I don't know, dude.
But
Yeah,
Josh Green doesn't do it for you?
no.
I want All-Stars. And none of these guys. I've always believed in Pritchard, though. I have to say that.
Michael says Brian went on a bender with these packs.
What does he mean by the rate? Is it the rate of the packs?
Yeah, I think it's the excitement during the gaming corner, dude. It's just like, Michael, give me another pack, Michael. Give it to me again. Give it to me again.
Man. So once again, though, fellas, what a show! I feel like
What
we
a
covered
show,
a lot
dude.
of ground today.
Oh my god, so much ground was covered.
So really appreciate everybody tuning in, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, checking out the archives on the YouTube page, like yesterday's edition of Screen Time, not to mention all DTV programming. You know, we mentioned Gaming Corner, tons of good episodes there. Our most recent MLB The Show. We have NHL coming up this week, as well as the merch at downtimetv.com, the spring collection. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy the camera, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.